Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy for Civil Services. Let us discuss today the Hindu newspaper of Bangalore edition. The first article that we are going to discuss about government launches a new portal seeking suggestion on Bengaluru development. This topic comes under your general studies to governance. So the Karnataka government, like comparing, although Mumbai has more severe traffic problems, it is due to popularity of Bangalore. So the city congestion issues dominates the headlines. So this statement said by the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, DK Shivkumar, and he come up with the launching of a portal name called www.brandbengaluru.karnataka.government.in. It is for the citizens to send their suggestions to improve the infrastructure in the city. This is what the context in the news. Moving towards the next article, you guys aware about June 21st that India is celebrating the whole world is celebrating the International Yoga Day. So Modi lands in United States of America's capital to meet Biden. So there he was doing the yoga session at the UN headquarters in New York on Wednesday. Right. Next, the important article of the day that we are going to discuss in detail from your editorial page related to the international relations, that is general studies 2 topic about more hit than miss in India Nepal ties. So the article, as I said, it comes under your general studies 2 international relations. Let us have a look of this article in detail. You know about India and Nepal have recently unveiled several initiatives and agreements. The 4-day visit of Prime Minister of Nepal to India to boost the bilateral cooperation, particularly in the field of energy and transport development. The particular aim to strengthen the ties and facilitate regional connectivity. So this is about your context of the article. Then the details. How the visit by Nepal Prime Minister enhanced their relationship between India and Nepal. Okay, hydropower cooperation as well as avoiding the irritants is the two areas they focused in this article. I'm going to give you the important things, we can call it as major highlights. Okay, between India and Nepal, what are the agreement they have signed? One is about power sector cooperation. Long-term power trade agreement. India and Nepal signed around 10,000 megawatts of electricity from Nepal in the coming years, that we are going to import around 10,000 megawatts of electricity. And hydro power projects. See, MOU signed between the two countries, particularly NHPC, that is National Hydroelectric Power Corporation from India, and Vidyut Utpadan Company Limited from Nepal. So for the development of the Pukot Karnali hydroelectric project and Lower Arun hydroelectric project. Also, the two prime ministers expressed their commitment to achieving tangible and time-bound progress on the Pancheshwar multi-purpose project, which aims to enhance cooperation in harnessing the shared water resources of the Mahakali river. So these are all the areas that you need to understand in terms of hydropower cooperation between the two countries. Apart from that, even they like focused on the transport development as well. That is transmission line and rail link. It's a Gorakhpur Butawal transmission line and the inauguration of Indian Railway cargo from the Badnaha to Nepal to focus on the enhancing of connectivity between the two countries. Apart from that, other initiatives also signed between both the nations. A plan to extend Asia's first cross-border petroleum pipeline from Motihari in India to Amalgunj, okay, in Nepal. Another 69 kilometer up to Chitwan in Nepal they are planning to extend. Apart from that, a revised treaty of transit signed on June 1st, 2023 that will give Nepal access to India's inland waterways as well. So waterways is very important for Nepal because they want to do any kind of exports through the maritime. They need to get access from India's water. So inland water treaty as well. So these are all the major areas which focused by the Prime Minister who visited to India. So this article has all these background. Just go through this about India and Nepal ties. Moving towards the next article which comes under your General Studies 1, that is geography related to heat and state. So the poor living conditions have exacerbated the effects of heat waves. So the brutal heat waves beating down on UP and Bihar. One district in Uttar Pradesh named called Balia reported the most deaths because of the heat wave. So you know about heat wave is called as a hazard and also causing the disaster scenario in the country. Is a little more comes under your physical phenomena of high heat condition that is characterized as the complex of hydroclimatic risks. Okay, social and occupational and also public health risk comes under this heat wave. So heat wave means no universal definition for this. It is generally defined as a prolonged period of excessive heat. So Indian Meteorological Department used to come up with some measures. Heat wave scenario, and in the plains and hills 40 degrees Celsius in the plain land and 30 degrees Celsius in the hill stations, that considered as the high heat wave. So the heat wave not to be considered till maximum temperature, at least 40 degrees Celsius as I said in the plain land and 30 degrees Celsius in the hill region. If the normal temperature of a station is less than or equal to 40 degrees Celsius, then an increase of 5 degrees Celsius to 6 degrees Celsius from the normal temperature, which is considered as the heat condition. So this is what exact scenario which is happening in the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Remember the causes of this heat wave which passes pre-monsoon season showers, less moisture in many areas, leaving large part of India arid and dry. And El Nino effect. Already we discussed about this El Nino effect in like I think 1 week ago. So you just go through that. You will understand what is mean by this El Nino effect. And the impact you know about health. Health is the one of the major concern comes under this heat wave. Then about heat stroke, then about heat exhaustion, and about heat cramps. All these were the effects in terms of health because of the heat wave condition. Right, moving towards the next article, it is related to the opinion page. Rethink the retention of sedition. Rethink the retention of sedition charge. The Law Commission of India, in its 279th report released in April 2023, has given recommend to retain one of the most controversial section of the recent times, that is section 124A of the Indian Penal Code on sedition charge. Okay, what exactly this news? We'll discuss in detail. You know about in May 2022. In May 2022, the Supreme Court of India had suspended the use of Section 124A, stalling the pending criminal trials and court proceedings under the section across the country. Section 124A of IPC describes sedition as an attempt to excite disaffection against the government. If anybody is like showing the disaffection against the government, means that person can be arrested under this sedition law. The provision has been widely criticized for being tool of the curbing the dissent. That is the issue, and it is also a colonial legacy which we are following it from the British time period, because British doesn't want our Indian press people to say any kind of disaffection statement towards their government. Okay, so what exactly the recommendation given? So by the Law Commission, recommendations of the Law Commission, one is incorporating the Kedarnath judgment. The Law Commission report states that essence of Kedarnath versus state of Bihar in the year of 1962 needs to be incorporated in section 124A. See, Kedarnath upheld the constitutionality of the sedition law, stating that it falls within reasonable restriction. Okay, it falls within reasonable restrictions on the freedom of speech mentioned under Article 19, Clause 2 of the Indian Constitution. The court ruled that the offence of sedition can be established when the words or actions tend to incite the violence or lead to public disorder. That is your Kedarnath judgment. Then installing a new procedural safeguard. Remember, all these points were considered to be the recommendation given by the Law Commission. The Commission given a recommendation, a major procedural amendment to the Code of Criminal Procedure, CRPC, okay, Criminal Procedure 1973, to prevent the alleged misuse of the law. Misuse of the law. It suggests that a police officer holding the rank of an inspector or higher must conduct a preliminary inquiry before the first information report is filed. And increasing the term of punishment, the punishment period of 7 years of life imprisonment along with the fine. Enhance the punishment recommended by the Law Commission. And about inserting new words in the provision as well. Tendency, okay, inclination, like that new words can be included in that article. So all these things you just go through it. As I said, the expression disaffection includes disloyalty and feelings of enmity against the government measure comes under the sedition charge. Right, it's a non-bailable offense and imprisonment from 3 years up to life along with a fine as well. An individual any charge under this law means uh, that person barred from a government job and their passport is seized by the government. Okay, next article that we are going to discuss about the NATO plus. About NATO plus. Senate caucus to push for NATO plus 5 status for India. First we need to understand what is meant by this NATO plus. Then we'll go ahead. See, while the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or we can call it as NATO, is a 31 member alliance state with 29 European nations and 2 American, and the NATO plus, currently NATO plus 5, is a security arrangement. It's a security arrangement that brings together NATO and 5 aligned nations, that is Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Israel and South Korea, to boost the global defense cooperation. Right, so this is called NATO plus. So timed with the Prime Minister of India arrival in the Washington, the US Senate India caucus co-chairs the Mark Warner said that will introduce legislation to give India NATO plus 5 defense status. So External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had already rejected the framework for India, but since it was a talk, it can be increase the defense trade of India with the European nations. Right, for India, bringing on board would facilitate the seamless intelligence sharing between these countries. And India also would get access the latest military technology without much of a time lag. Right, so these are all the major areas to be focused under this particular article. Next one is about India climbs 8 places to 127 in Global Gender Index WEF report. Remember, India was ranked 127 among 146 countries. In gender parity, up 8 places. That is very good news. Like India is like up 8 places compared to the last year report. This Global Gender Index report of 2023 released by the World Economic Forum. India was ranked 125 in 2022. This year India was ranked 127. Right, so it is like marking that India is like coming up with a improvement. So in India, while here had been uptick in parity in wage and income, the share of women in senior positions and technical roles had dropped slightly since the last edition, the report says. So the compared with top scoring countries, register of 94.4% gender parity at birth, the indicator stands at 92.7% percentage for India, it said. Overall, Southeastern region has achieved 63.4 gender parity, the second lowest of 8 regions. Right, so India 127th rank, 0.624, that is plus 8 is the rank change. Moving towards the next article, that is related to the Gati Shakti. So industries eyes, getting access to the Gati Shakti portal to boost capex in the connectivity. So industry is hopeful that government may soon agree to open up access to PM Gati Shakti portal developed for planning multimodal infrastructure projects. You know about the scheme aim to ensure the integrated planning and implementation of infrastructure projects in the next 4 years. That is the purpose of this Gati Shakti. Okay, expediting works on the ground, saving cost and creating jobs. So they'll subsume rupees 110 lakh crore national infrastructure pipeline that was launched in the year of 2019. Okay, you need to understand this portal used to be an open platform for the people who can get access of the integrated approach in terms of the infrastructure development. So the platform brings together 16 ministries to spur an integrated approach to the projects, access to data which include detailed maps, economic, social infrastructure is currently restricted to the central state agencies. Idea has been received without many major pushback, which was said by the Confederation of Indian Industry President R. Dinesh. Moving towards the next part of our discussion, that is press information bureaus, important topics. International Yoga Day was celebrated on 21st June 2023. It's a 9th annual International Day of Yoga, which celebrated at the iconic North Lawn of the UN headquarters in New York City. The yoga posture was practiced by our Prime Minister there. The theme for this year, Yoga for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means one earth, one family, one future. So the event was witnessed and overwhelming responses from the thousands of yoga enthusiasts from over 135 nationalities, setting a Guinness World Record for participation by maximum number of nationalities in a yoga session. Right, a video message by United Nations Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres was played as well. Right, so these are all the important topic, because if you go through the today's newspaper PIBAR, maximum information regarding the yoga day only. Next is one about Purana Quilla excavation. Purana Quilla is located in Delhi. Union Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture Meenakshi Lekhi, along with delegates of embassies, visited the historic site of Purana Quilla in Delhi to inspect ongoing excavation work. So the site where they did excavation, which had a lot of identification in terms of the city of Indraprastha, that has been subjected to the ecological interest for several decades. So the excavation over there, unearthed by the archaeologists, there was a significant findings providing insights into Delhi's continuous history spanning over 2500 years ago. So Purana Quilla, that is one of the important monument in medieval part of India. Then UNDP partnership with the DAYNULM, the United Nations Development Program, and the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Urban Livelihood entered into a collaborative partnership aimed at empowering women to make well-informed career choices in the field of entrepreneurship. So it is very interesting, because to start up and expanding their own enterprises, definitely a particular sector, it is required such economy, digital economy, electric mobility, waste management, food packaging and more. So the women empowerment can be focused here. The United Nations of Development Program and DAYNULM entered into a collaborative partnership to enhance and empowering the women in the entrepreneurship field. The next topic is about North India's first skin bank had been inaugurated at New Delhi Safdarjung Hospital. It is a bank where the deceased donors can donate their skin, which will be helpful in treating the burns. The skin can be donated within 6 hours of death and utilized for burns and trauma patients after the processing. So India's first skin bank, New Delhi. Safdarjung Hospital. The last part of our discussion, that is the important of the vocabulary. The first word is about quagmire, which means a soft, boggy area of a land that gives way underfoot, a difficult, complex, or we can call it as precarious situation. Go to the go and check your synonyms, antonyms of this quagmire. Next one is about contentious, causing or likely to cause an argument, controversial or disputed. Go through the synonyms and antonyms. Then intransigence, intransigence, refusal to change one's view or to agree about something. Okay, we can call inflexibility also. Go through the synonyms and antonyms. So these are all the major topics of the day that we need to focus from the Hindu, All India Radio, Press Information Bureau. Stay tuned. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.